apparently Moist had a video that he was very emotional, and he's the king of clickbait. I have tried to emulate him in my YouTube video titles, try to make clickbait titles, and God, he's so good at it. He got me again. He got me again. I'm very emotional right now. So let's watch this together and find out why he's so emotional.
Yeah. You see that? The emotions coming out of me immediately like an angry dog. I'm
Oh,
snapping at you.
he's
Today I'm going to show you
mad.
two different sides of me. Jekyll and Hyde. We've
Jekyll
got
and Hyde?
two important topics that I really want to discuss. The first one is extremely positive and something I'm very passionate
Positive?
about and also would like your help with. And the second is extremely negative, something I'm very passionate about
Mm-hmm.
and nobody can help me with because the old US government decided to
does know
take
how
me
to
over their
clickbait.
knee and spank my keister when I did nothing wrong.
Huh?
Now, before you start speculating, it has nothing to do with
Taxes?
taxes. Uncle
Okay.
Sam ain't blasted my butt for that. It's something very different, and I'm blowing the lid off of this corruption
Okay.
here. It's gone on for far too long. And the NSA, I know you're watching, probably sweating right now. I know they got their ears listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't stop me now because I'm going to dive into it. But not quite yet. I want to quickly start with the positive thing that I'd like to
Okay.
discuss. A couple weeks ago, I started doing
Just to get
giveaways on
taxes as
stream,
well.
just giving viewers money. I started on Christmas because I thought it'd be kind of nice for anyone that didn't have a good Christmas to tell me what they wanted and didn't get.
There's
and I
a
just paid for it
tax
for 'em.
implication.
And
of
I
that.
did it again last week for anyone that just needed money for something. And I've just been trying to brainstorm ways to make that a more fun stream experience. Like, I really enjoy doing it, and
It's
I
a-
want to do more of it. I just want to make sure
I
that
think
it's a fun thing.
I think it's important that he makes sure that it's random, because if people know when it's gonna be, the scammers are gonna come out of the woodworks to try to milk him.
To watch as well. Right now, the current way that I'm doing it is I've had a friend of mine named JMac make a Google form, so during the stream it's just
Mm-hmm.
pinned to the top of the chat, and whoever wants to like enter into it just
But
submits
yes,
there.
there's
They tell me
tax
the amount and
implications
what
with
it's going to be used
giving
for
people
and whatever message they want to
significant amount of
send,
money.
and then the chat will just shout out a bunch of random numbers. Looks like some kind of hacking sequence out of the Matrix when we do these, but I'll just randomly choose one of those numbers that chat shouts out. I'll go to that form, read out the message, and then send the person the money. And then I do that for a couple hours, give away a couple $1,000s to a bunch of different people, and it's really, like, it makes me happy to do that because it just feels nice to be able to give back to a community that's been so supportive of
Yeah.
my shit for so long. I'm just trying to think of
He's
ways
also
of
stupid
making
rich
this
now.
a more fun
And he
viewer
lives a simple
experience
life, which
on
is
stream,
important
because right
in
now
my
it's mainly sitting silently or maybe shooting the shit with chat a little bit and then going to that forum and reading it out and then sending it. Like, there's not a whole lot of like activity going on the stream itself, and I just feel like there's got to be a way of doing this in like a really exciting way. And I just haven't been able to come up with the right solution in my noodle right
What's
now.
going
The main
on?
thing is I don't want it to be some kind of competition where people have
Thank
to
you for the
compete
follow,
for
Yoka.
that. Maybe that can be something different down the line, but for this, I'd rather it be something that everyone, of course, can participate in.
Can you react
and
to the
I just haven't been
horror
able to figure
series
out
Toto?
exactly what that could look like. at
If you
its
join my
best. So if
Discord
anyone has any
and
ideas,
link
just
it in the
comment
Discord.
them down below, and I'll definitely.
So exclamation point. Let me just do exclamation point Discord. You can join my Discord. What I do is I have a video channel where viewers post videos, and then once they've been screened by a moderator, then once it's been screened by a moderator, I do react to community videos. I don't give a fuck. Well, that's interesting. Let's see here. I'm gonna time you out. Don't need that energy in here. I don't respond well to people trying to tell me react to this right now or do that instantly, because they're just looking. A lot of chatters come in here trying to debate me, and I've been experienced on Twitch. I've experienced debates in the past, and that's why I do screening, because I've seen an ISIS execution thanks to a video that somebody tried to debate me with, and I'm not going to experience that again. So chill, bro. Alright, let's go back to the video.
Take a look there. But anyway, let's move on to the extremely negative topic that I really want to rant about because I've been fuming on it
Nicer
for
than I am.
days. I briefly touched on it on stream, but the more I marinate on it and the more I learn about this, the more I get upset. So I want to dive in even deeper. Now, I'm sure a lot of
His
you know this.
esport
Moist
application
Esports
got
is one of the
denied?
best Apex Legends teams in the world, and our squad comes from Australia. It's where they've been playing out of. But
Okay.
this split, we wanted to bring them to the United States of America, the land of the free, home of the brave, the place where the cheeseburger was invented and communism was prevented. Amen, brother. This is where Jesus Christ was born, and this is where Moist Esports is going to give birth to the biggest goddamn W the world's ever seen when it comes to Apex Legends. So, we began the visa process to get them over. And we submitted all of the necessary
America.
paperwork. We had all of our attorneys working through everything. We even collaborated with all of the other big organizations that have done similar things and were even doing similar things this split. And it was all smooth sailing. No hiccups, no bumps in the road. We started to put all our plans in motion. We had a place picked out for them here in Tampa. Also, we have our warehouse where they'd be playing out of. It all looked great. And then we got a request from the agent in the US government here that was handling our case, saying that he needed a little more information. And that's a little tedious because we submitted all the necessary paperwork and all the documents
Oh, come
and
on,
everything
Moisty.
that
You
all
don't
the
think
other
the
orgs
government
submitted and did
bureaucracy
not get a
should-
request for further
is
information,
that a
but for some
notorious
reason we
demon?
were picked out for it. So it is what it is. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. We went through the tedious process of providing even more insight to the things that they were requesting. And we put all that in and had to wait again. Now,
Yes.
keep in mind, this is not a quick process by any means. The US government ain't exactly known for its speed. This shit isn't exactly kicking in the afterburners or anything. There's no NOS boosters when it comes
Yep.
to this process. So this is over the course of weeks. And that's crucial time because our team needs to get here so they can start practicing together in the American soil on our ping for this split, so that way they can be prepared for when the season starts in a couple weeks. So all of this long waiting period of them not being allowed here also prevented them from being able to practice here, which is of course detrimental. So
Yes.
it was stressful and a headache, but we got everything in. And then we got a message back from our agent, who
Okay.
of course is representing who is taking on our case and representing us and giving us either the thumbs up or thumbs down on whether or not our Australian professional gamers can come to this country to play professionally. And the answer was no.
Coming to
They
the US
cannot.
is worse.
So,
The
huge round
airport
of
got me
applause for that
questioning.
guy. He just prevented 3
The airport's got me questioning if I'm a citizen, even though I've lived here my entire life. Oh, cheesy bread cat. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, so it's complicated. Like the US immigration system, as well as just getting a visa. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. It really is for any foreigner. And, like, I don't even know if. Like, he's trying to do this legit. And I don't even know if they would consider. Like, he basically needs to give them temporary work visas. And I don't know if they would consider gaming employment, much like we've seen in Korea. Like, Korea, their government doesn't recognize streamer as a job. So, a lot of the Korean streamers have a lot of trouble with that aspect of it. And I could see where Moist is probably having trouble with the governmental bureaucracy trying to get his team here to be able to practice, or they won't be participating in the event exclusively, and getting them to understand that no, that is work. That is work. Like yes, they are playing a video game, but they're doing it in practice for a competitive event, and I don't think they'll understand what that means or what that entails.
gamers from coming to this country and wreaking havoc. I don't know what else we could have possibly provided. We did everything every other org did and more, and still got declined. So I don't know what else we could have done. Maybe we needed to get like some kind of testimonial from each of our players' ex-girlfriends to confirm that they're not a terrorist or something. I have no fucking clue. we were left in the dark, but the answer was no, which means we then had to start scrambling and get our Australians to Canada instead, so that way they could still play in this region, because obviously if they stayed in Australia, the ping differential is going to be
they're
a
done
nightmare.
for.
It's going to be
They're done
a
for, and even
huge
Canada is
setback
kind of
for them to be playing
that's still a
in
handicap.
a region while being in Australia. So obviously,
Just tell them
having
it's a
them in
multi-dollar
Canada still
injury
puts them
to watch
in a
the US
region,
gets
and it
cut.
was our only option left at this point since the U.S. immigration agent decided to spit in our face, and led to a lot of panic. But we eventually got them to Canada, where it was a lot smoother and more seamless.
Canada's a
and
little
then we
more
eventually
lax.
found out the reason for being rejected.
Okay.
And when I tell you that it is one of the most head-scratching explanations, I'm not exaggerating. It is so bafflingly, like, I can't even say frustrating, actually, because it's just laughable. It's comical that people like this are working in the positions they are, because it's very clear that the agent that
Has
had
no
our
idea.
case has no fucking clue what
True.
professional video games even means,
Yep.
or what video games even are, for that matter, is the impression that I got from all of this. I think what happened is he might have gone to Waltzy's Twitter and saw Waltzy throwing up 400 pounds with ease and just got afraid of him, thinking that he might be a national threat for being too strong. Like, that'd make more sense than what he gave us. I can't go into the finer details of it, obviously, because that might be a violation, but I'm going to give you a couple of the broad strokes. The
I'm
one
alive.
that had me
I just
actually
woke up with-
giggle
That's
when
okay,
Matt
Kat,
told
that's
me
okay.
is that our
get it
agent
going
didn't
a
believe
little
us
bit.
when we said we were one of the top teams in the world. We submitted the official rankings of everything and where we place in all of the majors, as well as the World Championship and everything, and by every
He's
single
not gonna
metric we are
understand
a
it.
top
This US agent.
15 team at least. By a lot of other calculations, we'd also be in the top 10. But basically, we just submitted that we are just one of the top teams, and then gave all of the rankings and everything, and he didn't believe us. He thought we were lying, fundamentally. Something that he could easily confirm with a single Google search of just Moist Esports Apex, and then look at our results, and then just
Yeah.
look at where we rank amongst all of the other teams. He could have easily verified this, but instead just
He doesn't believe this
didn't
is a
want
real
to.
thing.
Instead just said, nope, you're telling a fib, basically.
All right,
So
Kat,
he
I'll get
fought
you.
us
I'm
on
gonna
that,
launch the
something
Twitch
that
guest
he
star in the background.
himself could do with actually as little as 5 seconds on the keyboard. It's so fucking unbelievable that guy has that job and won't even do the bare minimum of just confirming something that he might be a little skeptical on, and would instead just say, nah, it's probably a lie. Craziness. Actually,
Yeah, I'm gonna invite
lunacy.
you, Kat.
But what's even more
gonna get
insultingly ridiculous is one of the
Invited
other
to the
big things that
backstage.
they slapped
So it's
us
gonna
for.
pop up at the
In
top
our
of your
initial
Twitch video.
filings, they
You
stated
can-
that they didn't like
You can enable your virtual cam in your stream. In OBS or Streamlabs, there's an enable virtual camera, and that's what you select for your camera source. Send invite. I'm inviting you now.
one of our clauses in our player contracts. And that clause was that we let all of our players keep 100% of their earnings, like through streaming and also through winning
So,
prizes. I believe they were both
there's
lumped
still
together, but I think they were held up on
confusion with
streaming
the
in
tax
particular.
implications
At
of
Moist
that.
Esports, we don't touch anything our players make through streaming or whatever they win in the games they compete in.
Which is pretty
We
nice.
let them keep 100% of it.
That's pretty
The old
incredible.
U.S. immigration agent did not like that and took an issue with it. Maybe with the way it was worded.
No, they're not
So,
gonna be
when
like
we
that at
resubmitted,
all.
when they asked for more information, we
How,
switched it
like-
around basically at their request. Like, we changed around some of the wording. Of course, still not taking anything from players or anything like that, but we changed around the wording that may have been a bit of a pressure point for them. And then we got slapped again because we changed the contracts at their request, basically. We did what they asked us to do with making these changes, and then that was a problem that they rejected us for. We were damned if we did, damned if we didn't. It seemed like the U.S. immigration agent that was handling our case here really wanted any reason at all to fuck us. We got in trouble for doing what we were basically asked to do, and then got punished for it. Again, it doesn't make sense. And when talking with all the other
Jesus,
big
that's so
orgs that have gone
frustrating.
through a similar process, I won't name any names here because
So it's complicated because when you're here in the US as for a work visa and you earn money, there's still tax/financial implications And I don't think that just giving your people all the money they earned without the US government getting a cut, because if it's if it's like winnings at a casino, you're still gonna get taxed on that. Like if it's winning is in a tournament, like your local basketball tournament, you could probably win some money and probably go unreported. But this is probably a large enough sum that they're like, this seems shady, and they don't like it. So the agent rejected it. I think the problem is probably they got to work through the communication and understanding it. Like changing it willy-nilly based on what the agent thinks. Yeah, I could kind of see where the agent probably was like, well, this doesn't give me a solid understanding. But I think it should be a learning experience for everyone involved. That is frustrating though. These people should be able to compete though. Need to learn what the fuck Eve Sports are. Exactly. Like if you, like they have to encounter this. Like there's boxers that come and do sponsored boxing events and MMA fighting events from overseas, and they come and they train locally before the main event. So that has to have a process that works, and whatever that process is, it should probably work for Moist too. But he's obviously spitting angry because he literally got fucked by government bureaucracy, which I can understand.
Again, I don't know like how specific I'm even allowed to get with talking about this situation, but all of the other orgs had similar experiences, or at least knew of other orgs that had similar experiences, and it's just like a commonly accepted thing in this space that the US immigration is a fucking nightmare for it, and that they are needlessly nitpicky to the point where they will actually just ruin like an entire process for this. Apparently in Dota 2 this happens pretty frequently. It's craziness that it's still in this state. It's 2024. How can we not have people in these positions that understand professional video games? It's a massive fucking multi-billion-dollar industry. Esports has so much in it. How can the people that are still in charge of this process not know anything about it and do garbage like this? It's so frustrating.
It is frustrating.
But anyway, the Apex team is now in Canada. We are still ready for the split.
Sucks.
We are still competing in A here. And I'm very optimistic. Our team's already popping off. So it's still, we're still very happy, but it would have been a lot better if they were here in Tampa because we like having them around. They're friends. We play basketball together. We hang out. Like, it's fun when they're here. So it would have been great to have them in the actual United States. But that's off the table for now. And I just wanted to rant about that a little bit because it is disgusting how archaic this process seems to be. But anyway, I won't rant about it any longer because it may actually be extremely detrimental to do so, because then I'm going to get into the nitty-gritty, and that's probably not a good idea when it comes to
because this agent might see this video
process.
You might see this video.
Wanted to talk about that a little bit. Eventually, hopefully, our Apex team will all be here in America playing together at the Moist HQ, the House of Hydration. But for now, they're going to be playing out of Canada, and really excited for the season. Of course, I will be watch partying the games, and that's about it.
I don't envy him. I don't envy him because government bureaucracy it's like a game. It's like a challenge.
Modern day Viking.
Oh, that's autoplaying. You can watch that later if we want. Oh, all right. I sent Kat the Twitch guest star. Sent her a.
You see that? The emotion.
He's so passionate. Alright, so I'm gonna give it the like and the comment, which always helps these creators out. Dashboard or in the algorithm. I'm gonna say US bureaucracy at its best. Windows button period. Scaredy cat times 3. There we go. Bureaucracy. I'm a cat. I didn't go to school. I will share this with you guys. If you guys don't already follow Moist Critical, I highly recommend you follow his channel. He makes some of the best content on YouTube, in my opinion. He always has uploads, and we watch a lot of it. So